Today, we're taking a closer look at Muneeba Ali's journey and what it really tells us about how things are changing for women in Pakistani sport. Her recent milestone has got people talking again about cultural expectations and the push for more inclusion. Muneeba Ali's story, it all starts in the streets of Karachi. That's where she first grabbed a bat, playing alongside the boys in her neighborhood. Born on August 8, 1997, Muneeba grew up in Karachi, a city absolutely obsessed with cricket. But even there, girls stepping onto the field often faced a lot of skepticism. Her parents' support was absolutely crucial. We don't have all the specifics of how they helped, but it just goes to show how family encouragement can be a powerful, quiet force against wider societal norms. She actually made her first-class debut for Baluchistan when she was just 15 years old. Talk about an early sign of talent and ambition, especially in a sport where women playing is often frowned upon. Then, in 2016, she landed her first central contract with the PCB, slotting into the D category. That was a clear signal that national selectors saw her potential, even with all the social hurdles in her way. And these early milestones? They weren't just huge personal wins for Muneeba. They really represented significant, step-by-step changes in what's considered possible for young Pakistani women in sports. She made it to the international stage in a flash. She was just 18 when she first played for Pakistan, making her debut at the 2016 ICC Women's T20 World Cup in Chennai. This was her big entry into international cricket, and she did it even with all the societal expectations swirling around. Since then, she's been a constant fixture, playing for Pakistan in 4 T20 World Cups. That's 2018, 2020, 2023, and 2024. Plus the 2022 Commonwealth Games. It just goes to show how long she's been at the top of these major international events. Talk about stats. In over 86 T20 international matches, she's racked up a whopping 1,531 runs. Her top score is 102, and she's hit 2 centuries and 2 half-centuries along the way. And her one-day international, ODI, record is just as impressive. She's got 1,386 runs in 60 innings, averaging 24.75, with 5 50s and a century under her belt. Now, these numbers aren't just about raw talent. They really show the sheer grit and perseverance it takes to keep an international career going. And she's done all this while actively challenging those old norms about who truly belongs on the cricket field. But then, everything changed. She absolutely smashed 102 runs off just 68 balls against Ireland during the 2023 T20 World Cup. That innings wasn't just big, it made her the very first Pakistani woman to hit a T20I century. A huge, historic moment that totally shook up traditional ideas about what women could achieve in Pakistani sports. This put her in some seriously elite company. She was only the 6th player ever to score 100 in the Women's T20 World Cup. Talk about a global superstar. People called her performance controlled aggression. It wasn't about brute force, it was all about pinpoint precision. This completely blew apart those old-fashioned ideas that women's cricket lacked technical skill. And she didn't stop there. She backed that up with an ODI 100 against Ireland in 2022, smashing 107 runs as part of an incredible 221-run partnership with Sidra Amin. That partnership actually pushed Pakistan to their highest ever ODI score at the time, a massive 335 runs. It really showed how good she is at building those big scores with a teammate. These weren't just great innings, though, they were statements. They were literally redefining what was possible. Every single boundary she hit pushed back against this old notion that cricket, especially the aggressive or super technical stuff, just isn't for women. Her success sparked conversations everywhere, in people's living rooms, in commentary boxes, even among coaches, about what Pakistani girls could truly aspire to achieve. But Muneeba Ali isn't just about her batting. She's totally changed the game for what it means to be a wicketkeeper batter in white ball cricket. She's actually Pakistan's main wicketkeeper in white ball cricket, making her a real dual threat player. She essentially brings the batting and keeping roles together into one package. You know, she's famous for hitting the gym super hard. That's definitely helped her keep up with the incredibly tough job of being both an opener and a wicketkeeper for such a long time in international cricket. She's also proven she can really perform under pressure in those big knockout games and high-stakes tournaments. Remember her T20 World Cup century? That came in a group game where World Cup qualification was literally on the line. She's particularly effective with her cover drive. I mean, the ICC highlight reels from the 2025 Women's World Cup even showcased her cracking cover drive as one of her signature moves, a defining part of her technique. Now, there's one area she's been caught out on, when she tries the pull shot against short-pitched bowling, especially when the heat is on. We saw that in the 2025 World Cup match against New Zealand. It's definitely an area she can still grow in. Alright, let's talk about Muneeba Ali. Just recently, Muneeba hit the 3,000 international runs mark. That was back on June 14, 2026, during the ICC Women's T20 World Cup opener. It was against India, over at Edgbaston, where she notched up 41 runs off just 35 balls. A real personal triumph, even though her team ended up losing that match. Now, this massive achievement of hitting 3,000 international runs back in June 2026, it actually happened during a pretty tough match. A big 64-run loss to India at the Women's T20 World Cup. But it really just goes to show her individual brilliance, even when the team was struggling. Reaching 3,000 international runs isn't just about scoring runs, it really speaks volumes about her staying power and how well she adapts across different cricket formats. We're talking about a whole decade of consistent service for Pakistan, and that's despite facing some real societal and cultural hurdles along the way. Interestingly, as of 2026, she hasn't actually played any women's test cricket, no test caps to her name yet. This might be down to limited opportunities, or perhaps some of those structural challenges within the test format itself. For Muneeba, hitting that 3,000 run mark is clearly both a huge reward and a big motivator. It's like a major checkpoint in a career that still has so many exciting chapters left to unfold. And what's even bigger is what this represents. The fact that young women like Fatima Sana and Muneeba Ali can now train at national academies, even show up in advertisements, and get tons of love on social media. That really signals a huge leap forward. It shows how far they've come in breaking down those old historical barriers that kept women from public spaces and sports in Pakistan. Think about it. Public parks and cricket grounds that used to feel completely off limits for girls, now you see them out there, practicing openly. This really points to a huge shift in societal norms and way more accessibility for female cricketers across Pakistan. Muneeba Ali's journey? It's not over yet, not by a long shot. But what she's already done has totally shifted how everyone sees what's possible for women in Pakistani sport. Her story really tells us that progress isn't usually about big, fancy speeches. Nope, it's about taking those consistent, brave steps, day after day, one innings, one boundary, one day at a time.